Magic. In most stories, it's the antithesis of technology. It's mysterious, unpredictable, a gift from the gods or a curse of bloodlines. But in the universe of Saga of Tanya the Evil, magic is something that can be studied, standardized, mass-produced and weaponized. Forget wands and ancient runes. Here, mages carry precision instruments that look like pocket watches. They fly, not on broomsticks, but using analog computers strapped to their chests. So in this video, we're breaking down how magic really works in the Youjo Senki universe. To understand magic in Youjo Senki, we need to start with the most important concept in the entire system. Magic is described as a phenomenon where mages use mana to interfere with the world by applying the appropriate amount of stimulus to the right point of application. And yes, that sounds incredibly technical, but that is exactly the point. A good way to understand it comes from one of the novel's own examples. It explains that if you want to create fire, you can flick the flint wheel of a lighter with your hand. Or you can reproduce that same process through magic. That one example tells us almost everything. Magic is not wish fulfillment. It is the controlled use of mana to reproduce physical effects by interfering with reality itself. And it's one of the reasons the system feels so believable. If you understand the phenomenon, and you have the formula to recreate it, then magic becomes less like sorcery, and more like engineering. At its core, the process looks like this. Mana is the energy source. Formulas are the instructions, and the world itself is the thing being manipulated. And once you understand that, the rest of the system starts making a lot more sense. And if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Now let's continue. According to the lore, in ancient times magic existed in many forms across different regions, civilizations, and cultures. Magic was a mystery. Magicians used scepters and relics, turning chemical reactions into equations in their head. It was unstable, inefficient, and unique to the individual. You couldn't mass-produce a wizard. After the Industrial Revolution, scientific investigation into old myths and magical phenomena eventually led to the birth of modern magicology. Then came the differential analyzer. The analog computer. The result was the modern operation orb, a device the size of a pocket watch, more expensive than a battleship, that functions as a compact magical analog computer, helping the mage calculate and execute formulas efficiently. The nations entered a cutthroat competition in researching and developing this technology. The Empire is the pioneer in magical military development, with engineers like Adelheid von Schugel playing a major role in maintaining that edge. What was once the domain of witches, relics, and legends has now become something engineers can build, armies can deploy, and empires can mass-produce. And that single idea changes everything. If magic is a technology, it has limitations. And this is where the system shines. There are no infinite mana pools here. Let's start with flight. The standard altitude for an aerial mage is 6,000 feet. Why? Two reasons. First, thin oxygen. Second, the mana cost to stay airborne at high altitude is massive. To go higher, say 18,000 feet, you need a multi-core orb. Most nations don't have those. And according to the lore, aviation formulas are considered one of the greatest practical achievements of modern magic. Flight in Youjo Senki is described more like a propulsion system. A mage uses magic to generate force, thrust themselves upward, and maintain balance while airborne. Defense is a resource management game. The passive shell is a low-power shield that stops shrapnel and small arms. You can keep it on all day, but a direct hit from a 12.7mm round, it's gone. The active barrier is stronger. It can theoretically stop a 40mm round, but it requires the mage to funnel massive mana into one spot. Do that, and you aren't attacking. And worse, you are visible. Some units can detect or triangulate magical activity. In this universe, hiding your mana signature is often more important than having a strong one. We see this multiple times with Tanya's battalion. At Ostfjord, they arrived by parachute because they couldn't use magic until the last second. Similarly, when they infiltrated the Russi Federation. And offense? Mages use formula rifles. They enchant the bullet, not the air. A penetration round, a homing cluster shot. Or, if you are Tanya von de Geerchaff, using the forbidden Type 95 orb, you can compress an artillery formula into a single shot equivalent to a 28cm gun. That's a battleship shell. Then there are optical formulas, which act like magical heat beams. These are especially associated with Republican Doctrine, where they're often used in volley-style attacks. Then there are explosive formulas, which create blasts at specific coordinates. One of the best things about Youjo Senki is that it doesn't only focus on offensive spectacle. It also shows how magic supports the machinery of war. For example, mages can use observation formulas to process battlefield data, identify coordinates, analyze mana signatures, and lock onto targets. That effectively makes them living reconnaissance and targeting systems. Some formulas are built for deception, like optical decoys that distort enemy sight. Others are practical and brutally useful, like medical and analgesic formulas that reduce pain, stabilize injuries, or push the body beyond normal limits. There is even magic communication, which allows communication between mages through orb-assisted directional transmission. And perhaps most interesting of all, there is magic interference. This is basically magical electronic warfare. Mages are expensive, they can be used as rapid response units. They excel in urban three-dimensional warfare, but they are not fighter jets. An aerial mage tops out at 250 miles per hour. Even then, they are not replacing true aircraft in raw speed or strategic aviation roles. This is the logical conclusion of magic as technology. Once a miracle becomes reproducible, it becomes a tool. Mages are no longer wise wizards in towers. They are artillery observers, marine escorts, and anti-submarine patrols. In practice, mages function as a hybrid between infantry, air cavalry, special forces, and shock assault troops. And that's what makes them so dangerous, because they are adaptable. This is where Youjo Senki becomes way more intelligent than people give it credit for. Because it doesn't just ask, what can magic do? It asks, how would modern armies actually use magic? From the outside, mages in Youjo Senki can look overpowered. They can fly, they can shoot beams, they can shield themselves. So why don't they completely dominate the battlefield? Mages are rare. Talented mages are even rarer. They consume mana. They require expensive equipment. They are vulnerable to saturation fire. And they still operate within the brutal realities of war. That is exactly why they work so well in the setting. They are not the best at everything. They are highly effective in specific battlefield roles. And in military history, that is exactly how transformative units usually work. The most powerful weapon is rarely the one that does everything. It's the one that fits the battlefield in a way no other tool can. That is what mages are in Youjo Senki. They are not fantasy superheroes. They are a specialized military arm. And that distinction makes all the difference. The magic of Youjo Senki is brilliant because it removes the romance. There are no secret spells, no chosen ones. There is only input and output. You have mana, here is a pocket watch. Calculate your trajectory. Don't fly too high or your lungs will freeze. Don't cast your shield or the enemy radar will see you. And whatever you do, don't pray to the orb, unless you want to win. By grounding magic in analog computation and industrial warfare, the author created a system where the protagonist is right to be cynical. Tanya de Gurchaf doesn't win because she believes in herself. She wins because she treats magic like a math problem. Let me know in the comments, what part of Youjo Senki's magic system is your favorite? Is it the computation orbs, the aerial combat, the military doctrine, or Tanya's terrifying Type 95? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.